Diamond here. How are you? Thank you so much for joining me today on the webinar. I wanted to introduce my friend and my partner, Yassine. He's going to be kind of running the technological part. And go ahead, Yassine, say something.
Yeah, I'm excited to have everyone join us here. We've been preparing a lot for this. I know you want to wow them with everything you have. So hopefully, guys, this will meet your expectations, even exceed it. So I'm excited to, I'm excited for you to see what we have prepared for you here.
Good. Well, we're going to talk a lot of things about sales, the things that changed my life, that made it wonderful for sales. I think sales is the biggest problem. So if you have a question, you can type in your questions there or chat or whatever, and Yassine will help you out, okay? Good. Let's see here. We have a floating mind map here, if you will, just so you guys can see what's going. You can see what I'm doing and what's going on. Let me know. Can everybody see my screen? Can you hear me? Let me know. Put it in the chat there, or put a yes or something like that. Let me know. And where's everybody from? I am right now in Winter Park, Colorado. I am looking at tons of snow. I am 10,000 feet up. And tomorrow I'm going back to my other home in San Diego. Where are you guys from?
We have Seattle, Kansas, Florida, Washington, San Diego, Anderson, Sarasota, Florida, Wisconsin, Delaware, Chicago, Dave from Boston, Russ in Omaha, Gunnar from Orange County. Nice. Houston. Anyone in Vegas? I'm now in Vegas, Claude, and it's absolutely amazing here. So anyone in Vegas?
Always bet on the number 7.
Philly, Sacramento. Someone is asking, will this slide be available, or should I take notes like a madman? You want to take notes? Claude, I don't know if you want to make the slides or the mind map available later, but yeah, I'd recommend you take notes, and we'll see how we can get the mind map to you guys towards the end of the webinar, or over email.
Well, you did a good guts rule. If you want things in life, you've got to be willing to ask. It's really one of the foundation guts or sales principles. We're talking a lot about triggers. And if you want things, ask. You asked for the mind maps, we're going to say yes, just because you asked. You took a risk, you're going to be rewarded. You want things in life, especially in real estate, you've got to ask for the contract, ask for the deal. The point of this seminar, the promise of this training, where I want to go with this, I want to show you guys how to double the number of deals you can close in 6 weeks or less without spending more on marketing. One of my pet gripes in this business is I think you guys are working too hard, you're not being rewarded well enough, and you're spending too much money on marketing. My God. I'm going to teach you this by showing you how to completely eliminate the rejection. So, after a while, too much hang-ups and rejections and think about it's drive you crazy. I want you to be confident and control the conversation within 3 minutes. I'm really big on that 3 minutes because I use a 3-minute timer, as many of you know. I want you to, on your next call, to use the power of what we call psychological deal triggers. And the key to success in any business is understanding these deal triggers. What's going on in the head of the person you're trying to do business with? What are the right words and things to say? So we're going to get into this. Let me give you my not-so-guru info here. I am the former world's worst salesperson. I just want to tell you right now, I've been where all of you guys have been. I hated sales. I found it embarrassing, humiliating. I just didn't like it. But sales is the million-dollar skill, guys. It's your big takeaway from here. It's the only way to succeed in this creative real estate business. Everything else is really a moot point if you cannot communicate and sell. I'm a recovering attorney of law. I went to law school in San Diego. I have a doctorate in law. I'm a recovering attorney. That means I don't practice. I don't want to practice. I love this business. Creative real estate has been so good to my family. This is the business. This is the business I love. This is the business which gave me freedom. And I'm making a lot more money than I would as an attorney. Take my word for it. You know, I've written a lot of books for you guys. Can they see me on the screen right now, Yassine? I could hold up some of the books I've done real quick, or I don't think there is a video.
Can you guys see Claude's webcam? Not his screen share, but his webcam.
Yeah, I don't think anyone can see me right now.
And
but,
you're looking good. So
okay,
there you go.
Okay. Well, I've written several books on sales, on real estate. I'm holding them up now in case the camera is working. I've written Lease Purchase for the 21st Century, The Gut Sales Method, The Lease Purchase Bible, Lease Purchase Consulting, a lot of different books in this business based on my experiences. I speak all over the place. For those of you who heard me, I was just in Las Vegas. Yassine was there. We had standing room only. There was a lot of people there right off the strip, and we had a great time. I love speaking. I think I was the keynote speaker of the International Coach Federation. I'm very big into the coaching and, more importantly, mentoring. I'll talk about that a little later. I just spoke to the SDCIA, which is the largest real estate group in California, if not the U.S. We had hundreds of people there, and that was about 8-9 days ago. So I love talking about the sales because I think it's a real gap in the training in this real estate industry. Nobody seems to want to talk about persuasion and influencing people. So that's the purpose of this webinar, to give you guys some more information. Let me, as I'm going through this, I've been interviewed on, oh God, over 100 podcasts, probably a lot more than that. I never bothered to count. I'm asked just about every week to be on a different podcast. It's good for marketing. If you've been on my YouTube page, youtube.com/cdmentor, I have over 500 videos on YouTube. I love giving you guys my experiences and deals, both good and bad, the situations I encounter. So make sure you go over there and they're not commercials or anything like that. They're just me sharing this real estate business. I work from my home. I love it. You know, I always say cleaner bathrooms and better coffee. It's just a dream come true for me. I've been in different magazines, Creative Real Estate Magazine, the New York Times, Wall Street Journal, all different places. I enjoy putting out content, as I said. I'm a real estate trainer. I've been doing this over 30 years. I do deals from home. Home is Colorado, California, Hawaii, or Pinehurst, North Carolina. I don't like to take vacations. I like to live them. I like to live in places where other people come for vacations, and I love this business. It has afforded me a lifestyle that I never it's what I always want. It's what we all want, the freedom to do something we love from our home and be a good husband, good father, just participate in the family and remove ourselves from financial worry all the time. Take the money out of your life. You cannot believe how good it is. I've trained hundreds. I'm actively doing deals. I own really unique real estate that I started out doing with lease purchasing and conventionally and owner financing. I've trained hundreds of students. I should count them too. I really don't know how many I have. And I have students currently in over 18 countries. I'm actively mentoring well over 100 students and corporations, different corporations right now. If you are familiar with me, I do it one-on-one every week with group calls and individual calls. This is my main business, and this is one of the reasons we're doing this webinar today, to give you guys insight into something that other people pay a great deal of money for. What you're going to learn, and I hope you guys are following this outline, okay?
I just want to interrupt for 1 second. We reached limit of attendees. So if you guys like, we have a limit on the number of attendees. So if someone is trying to join and they can't, it's just because there is a limit on how many people can attend the webinar. So we're at well over 100 attendees right now. So
what a good problem. We like that problem.
Yeah. So hold your spot, because if you sneeze, you might lose your spot. So make sure you hang on.
100%. That's great. You made my day by telling me that. Thank you. Next time we've got to make more room if you can do that, if you can adjust for that.
Yeah.
I'd love to happen. So let's talk for a moment about what you guys are going to learn. I talk real fast. I'm a sales trainer, and I just want to give you as much content as we can in this short time period. If you're struggling to close more deals, I want to reveal how to use the power of psychological deal triggers to get more sellers to sign a contract. We have to understand, the word I use very often is empathy. What is going on in the mind of other people? We have to learn to think this way. We have to learn to think what words we can use to get the reactions we want and anticipate it, rather than sound like the regular boring salespeople that we're all, that we've all encountered. You guys are going to become psychological deal trigger masters, okay? If you're lacking the confidence to talk to sellers, and we've all been there, I've been there, I'm going to show you a quick 2-minute exercise you can do before you get on a call. Just a little exercise. It'll change your whole outlook and take away and remove the anxiety. If you're constantly getting rejected by sellers, I have been, I'm sure you have, my job is to walk you through how to use trigger number 1, micro commitments. Okay, and something just happened to my screen. It's okay. Put this here. Micro commitments to open up the conversation and sound different, not sound like once again a robot or someone reading a script or something like that. If you find it hard to negotiate the price of the property, some people are uncomfortable with that, I'm going to show you why sellers resist your price and your negotiations and how to effortlessly negotiate the deal you want. If you struggle to know what to say to a seller, I'm going to walk you through these 3-step success staircase, or the staircase to success, as I refer to it, to know exactly what to say at every stage of the conversation so you can turn your cold calls into hot smoking deals. That, the conversion of taking a cold call and making it into a comfortable, wonderful adult-to-adult hot smoking deal. This is part of the psychology of what we're discussing here. If you run out of words when trying if you run out, if you run out of words when trying to overcome seller objections, you get a little tongue-tied, step on your tongue, you start doing I'm going to show you how to use trigger number 5, redirection, to turn your table on the seller, crush their objections. If you struggle to structure a deal with the right terms and prices, I want to show you the 3 ways to structure your offers that guarantee you profitability. So we have a lot of good stuff to go over here, guys. Why is, and let's get this down here. Why is this all open? Okay. And let's close this up. Let's close this up. Okay. Are we on the right screen there? We're part 1. Okay. 1 second here. Okay, here we go. Sorry, a little lost my place here a little bit.
You can just close the main node for the yeah, there you go.
Okay, so we covered what you're going to learn, I believe, and why this is important here now. Let's talk here. Most of, my opinion, you guys can disagree, I think most of what you've learned about sales is dead wrong. They're teaching you stuff that is 30, 40, 50 years old, and it's just inappropriate. It's not designed to make you successful. It's designed to frustrate you. They're teaching old stuff. The world has changed, okay? We need to be contemporary. We need to understand the psychology, the culture of our prospects who we're selling, and nobody except your Uncle Claude here is going to talk about that. So that's a really big point here. Let me open this up here for you guys. It's old-fashioned selling, guys. It's 100% rejection. And you can't go through, you cannot succeed in business if you don't have a system that's contemporary and understand how to speak to people so that they relate to you, they like you, they trust you. Most of the sales principles out there that are being taught are old-fashioned. They're on outdated principles that are not, they're not pertinent to today's environment and economy here. They're taught by hypocrites. Oh boy, I'm going to get in trouble here, Yassine. Here's where I go across the line. Is that all right? Okay. I think most of these sales trainers are hypocritical. They talk about how easy it is. They talk about the marketing, and they talk about applications and things like that, but they never pick up the phone in front of you. You know what I do with my students? And you can ask any of them. I actually make phone calls with them. In fact, just the other day I did a phone call with a client in Canada to a prospect in New York State, upstate New York, and we got the guy on the phone, and my client was able to listen to me how I got the deal for him. He already sent him an offer today, by the way, on this. So I think you need these programs have to show people how to do it, okay, how it works. Absolutely. Let's go to market saturation here for a second. According to Zillow's report in 2017, we're in a fierce seller's market. The marketplace is saturated with wholesalers and investors. Check on the ads in Craigslist and you'll see what I mean. So how do you stand out in a competitive marketplace? Closing rates for many people are in the toilet. This study by the Keller Research Center at Baylor University shows that less than 1% of calls made by the real estate professionals resulted in a positive outcome. That's horrible. You cannot succeed in business when you're getting, and it's less than 1%. It's a minor percentage of 1% for people who are making cold calls. I reread this report this morning. You guys should definitely see this. Marketing doesn't work as good as it used to. How many times did you go to the post office today? Yet most marketing is based on using yellow letters and postcards and outdated, tacky types of marketing. We're not going to get too much into that today. Today's mostly about sales, but marketing has changed completely. I don't spend, I literally spend no money. I used to spend over $10,000 a month on marketing. I literally spend nothing today on marketing because I own something called an iPhone. You guys have Androids, iPhones. Today's marketing is so easy to virtually attract people if you know what content to put on and using the right medium. Bottom line, the game has changed, guys. There is a new game. There are brand new rules. And if you don't adapt, if you're not learning contemporary sales, you're going to be left behind. So you made a good decision to come here today. Thank you very much. Thank you, Yassine. Thank you, all of you, for joining me here today. Let's talk a little bit about pain. Is there pain in sales? You better, and as a real estate investor, you better believe it. And I don't like to talk about all the wonderful things of this business all the time. I like to talk about some of the negative things. It bothers me to my core that so many people are not as successful as they could be in this business. And I really blame the trainers in this business who are not dealing at all with the psychology, the sales, the persuasion, the influence. If you're a real estate investor or wholesaler, you want to start closing more deals, obviously, then this is for you. If you struggle to get the seller's approval and trust, then this is for you. That's a biggie, guys. You know, when people like you and trust you, this business is a dream. It's so easy. If you want to, but we're not taught to sell like that. We're still being taught old-fashioned techniques. If you want to eliminate the constant rejection and stop getting no as an answer, then this is for you. If you're afraid of looking dumb, stupid, not knowing what to say when an objection comes up, being embarrassed, then this is going to be for you too. If you want to negotiate better deals with higher spreads, then this is for you. If you lack confidence, believe me, I did. Whoops, I just lost my screen here. Okay, well, let's go back. If you lack the confidence to lock in the deal, you want to gain the ability to effortlessly close the seller, this is for you. If you're worried about getting rejected because you don't have the experience you think you need for the seller to work with you, then this is for you, because you're going to discover how to win the seller's trust. And believe me, when you have the trust within the first couple minutes of your conversation with them, it gets so much better. Let's go over a few quick house rules. No gurus allowed here, okay? I'm not a guru. I'm a mentor. I'm a guy who does deals just like you guys, but I just want to share with you. I run a very successful business. I am debt-free. Financially, I could have retired years ago. I have no consumer debt, no mortgage debt, and I did it all through this wonderful business. I wonder about a lot of the gurus who teach this business who don't live the life that they're telling everybody to do. So no hype here, just the facts, no guru BS, no motivation without perspiration. This is a hard business. You will not make money in your sleep in this business. You've got to learn to give good phone, frankly. I bust my butt in this business, guys. I hustle. And I don't have to hustle anymore, but I love it. So you got to have the passion for the business, and you got to have the practicality. You got to go to the bank. But it takes hard work. I'm not going to tell you that I don't even, people who write 4-hour work week books are not for me, guys. I think you got to bust your tuchus here to make it work. No fancy schmancy piece of technology. I use the technology, but I don't think any piece of technology is the substitution for good communication. That's a takeaway, guys. Remember that. You can have all the technology and all the bells and whistles, but when it comes down to it, you're going to have to learn the way to speak to people that'll make you money. Okay. What do we have over here? We have, in fact, what are you going to learn is a techie less is as techie less as it gets. The only piece of technology you need is something that was created back in 1876. Do you know what that is? What was that? Trivia question. The telephone, guys. The telephone is your gateway tool to having a blank check for the rest of your life. Forget about everybody here probably has a cell phone, an Android, or an iPhone. There's no get-rich-quick schemes, guys. We get wealthy slowly, okay? So I just want to share with you the way I got here, and if you don't have to reinvent the wheel. No do-nothing closed deals. You have to get on the phone. My goal is to eliminate your reluctance from making phone calls. Some of us have always treated the phone like it's a cactus. We don't want to get a cactus. If you ever got a cactus needle in your finger or your toe, you know what I'm talking about. I want to make it fun. I want to make this interactive for you. So, oh, by the way, I'm going to give away a few of my attendees a little bit. Somebody asks a good question near the end or something like that. We're going to give away a bunch of gifts here, aren't we? Okay, then that's my promise too. I'd like you guys to, at the end of this, to ask questions or give me a role play, and I'll try to do those for you. Okay, so let's go. I think I'm moving too slow here. I'm going to go to part 2. My confession. I have a lot of experience in this profession. I've been doing this for 30 years. I've went to a lot of things, but I've had problems in this business, guys, and it was always related to sales, self-esteem, and confidence. Have you ever driven to an appointment and thinking you were going to pick up a check, but you went back empty-handed, just burned up a lot of gas? Then this is going to sound very familiar to you. I once had a seller I spoke to on the phone. I responded to a classified ad. And they were down in Delaware, and I was up in New York State. I'm from New York City, no kidding. And I responded to the ad. We had a great conversation. They were the nice people. And when you get a nice person on the phone, which is rare sometimes, you want to respond quickly. So we made an appointment, and the drive was over 5 hours long. It was a really long drive from New York City to Delaware, the state of Delaware. I thought I had a deal. And I went down there. We had a nice meeting and everything. And, in my mind, I was spending the money. Have you guys ever done that? You think you got a deal. You're real close. You have a good conversation. The people said to me, oh, Claude, this sounds really good. We're going to give it our highest consideration. Let's talk on Monday. Okay? And so I've got, in my head, I'm saying, oh, I can pay off my bills. Maybe I can take a vacation. Maybe I can get my car fixed or something like that. I'm all excited spending that money. You know what they really said? They said maybe to me. They said probably. Because the problem was that on Monday I called them, I got voicemail. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, a whole week, nothing but voicemail. They didn't want to talk to me. Guess how I felt at that time? I was disappointed because now the money was gone. Do you ever have money in your head? You spent it and it's gone. It's the worst feeling in the world. I was embarrassed. I felt manipulated. I blamed them. I was mad at them. I was angry. But what did they really say to me? They said maybe, probably, give it its highest consideration. But I didn't want to hear that. I heard yes, but that's not what they really said. And I kind of went back to my mentor, Max. You guys, if you read my books, I talk about this wonderful man I met who made such a difference in my life because he was the greatest salesmen I ever met. And, you know, guys, I believe in mentoring, not gurus, but I believe that if you want to learn this business, learn from somebody who's doing it honestly and doing it successfully and legally and is financially can show that they're doing it the right way, okay? They're not living in a box behind the Walmart in Nebraska. Oh boy, I think I just ticked off my Nebraska people. I'm sorry. It's a lovely place. My mentor Max said, Claude, you're mad at the wrong people. You should be mad at yourself. This is a takeaway, guys. Max said there are no bad prospects out there, no bad customers. There's only really shitty salespeople. And he said, you're a shitty salesman. You got in a car, you drove 5 hours, and you didn't qualify that prospect. You didn't have the guts, the self-esteem, the confidence to ask the right questions. And you have to do that, guys. Otherwise, you're just going to burn up gas. You're going to get frustrated with all the rejection and manipulation. Okay? And I know some of you, or many of you, have gone through the same effect here. So I decided I was never going to let myself down like this anymore. I learned from my mentor, Max, who was the greatest real estate sales guy I ever met in my life. He loved options and lease purchasing. But the real important thing about him was not just the strategies that he used. He gave good phone, guys. This is big, okay? I saw him close a deal in one phone call, a brand new prospect in one call. And that's the secret sauce that I wanted. That's the way I wanted to do it. I wanted to get on the phone and be confident and comfortable once again and get the information I need so I wouldn't be driving my car. He was natural. Me, I was shy and reluctant. I know. You can ask my wife. When I was, you know, in my 20s, I was very shy, not making eye contact. I had to learn to build up my self-esteem, my confidence. I had to become self-aware. And this is, you got to be honest with yourself. And if this is the way you are, you can change. Because if I can do it, anybody can. And this is kind of the birth of psychological deal triggers that I learned from Max and I learned going out there. There's certain things I can say to people and get the information, get their confidence, get their trust, get likability from them. It was really what you call the aha moment for me. It was a revelation. It was an epiphany that I could speak to total strangers, be very comfortable, get the information, decide whether or not that I should fire that prospect in just a few minutes or there was a potential to do deal. And then I discovered that I had a system that really worked. And I started mentoring people in this system of making sales fun and profitable. And that's where we're going to go here. Part 3. Are we on time here, Yassine? Are we good?
Yeah,
we're moving well.
So, a lot of attendees are asking questions. So you guys, we'll answer all these questions towards the end so that Claude can go through all the content and so you can get the benefit of that. So if you have any questions, feel free to put it in the chat box and I'll make sure to read them out loud for Claude towards the end.
Are we good on time? Am I going too slow, too fast?
We're good. I mean, okay. let me ask them. Is he good, guys? Should he go slower, faster? Let us know.
I only have one speed. It's fast as hell. Because I want to get as much information across
He's fine.
as possible.
A little bit faster, perfect, just right. Claude is Claude. Good stuff. Speed. It's okay. All right. So perfect as is. All right. So keep going, my man.
Let's keep rocking and rolling here, guys, because I want to cover a lot more things. And then at the end of this, I want to give away my timers and answer your questions and do role plays too. So we have 2 more parts to get through here. I love talking about sales, and I love sharing this with you guys. This is the $1 million skill. The strategies are important. Listen, I'm a guy who's written books and spoken to major seminars on lease purchasing. I love the strategies. Wholesale real estate, subject to, sweat equity, no equity, owner finance. There's a million strategies out there, and they're all based on leverage. Leverage means, can we control a lot with a little? Because many of us, myself included, who started in this business, did not have unlimited wealth and credit and cash. We had to find these strategies. So strategies are important, but they're not the most important. And I'm probably the only guy who'll say this, because if you look at the majority of the seminars out there, they spend the majority of time on strategies. We're going to do directly the opposite, because strategies will not make you wealthy in this business. They're a tool, but they're not the most important tool. Next thing that everybody talks about is marketing. Okay, and this is a pet peeve of mine also. Marketing is important. We need leads. The trouble is, as I said earlier, the marketing that is being taught today is absurd. It's 30, 40, 50. It's old stuff that people aren't reading newspapers and magazines like they did anymore. They're not going to the bookstore, unfortunately, anymore. They're reading on their iPad, their laptop, their books, their magazines. They're getting information through the internet. Okay, they're not going to the post office. I have 2 kids. Okay, they're both young adults. They don't go to the post office. I have to text them when I know we're going to mail them something. And so the marketing through the post office and yellow letters and postcards is and without a dedicated opt-in list is a waste of money in most cases, in my opinion. You guys can disagree with me, but I just like to tell you what I think, what works for me, and I've heard so many people waste thousands of dollars on marketing. I use social media. We'll do that, hopefully, in another webinar sometime in the future, because I love talking about that. Sales is the million-dollar skill. Sales is what's going to make it. You could have the best strategies. You could spend a fortune on marketing and have all the great leads from people like Yassine and other wonderful resources. But if you cannot convert those sales, you are doomed to fail. I sound like a demotivational speaker. I'm sorry. But it's the truth, guys. You've got to be able to get on the phone. Now, I tell my students my rule of 5. You got to speak to 5 new people a day. I think a lot of people procrastinate from the one thing that gets them to the bank today, and that is sales. And this is your takeaway, guys. For you guys taking notes, you've got to be superb in sales. You've got to practice sales. You've got to understand the psychology, the deal triggers. What makes people listen to you, pay attention to you, trust you, like you, sign the contracts with you? How do you do that in 1 phone call or 2? That is the key here. And you've got to learn how to speak to people. Let's move along.
Before you open up, this is interesting. I'd love to hear what our attendees have to say. So we did a survey, right, a couple of weeks ago, so we can find, what people that follow you, what's their biggest challenge when it comes to talking to sellers and negotiating properties, right? And people responded to that. So I want to ask your attendees right now that just to, as an interesting quiz to see if what we found out matches with what people are really facing. So if you can, guys, put in the comments, when it comes to talking to sellers and negotiating deals, what's your number 1 single biggest challenge right now? In 1 sentence or 2, I'd love for us to know what's your biggest challenge right now, to see if it actually matches what we found out and which actually shaped this whole webinar. This whole webinar was because of all the responses that we got, and we wanted to deliver some really good content to help you solve your problems. But I want to see if it actually matches what we found out. So we have answers are coming in. We have they want top dollar in our market, building trust, not having an answer to a challenge, picking up the phone and calling. Great answers. I guess finding the right words to say. Do we need a license? 1 word communicating. Getting the I'm an investor and I won't be living in your house out of the way. So having a challenge, selling them on working with you as an investor. Leads, initiate a meaningful dialogue. Overcomplicating the strategy and options, can get them to see why me, but says no. Getting the seller to tell me their lowest number. I think we have a very close match what we have here, Claude. So why don't we go ahead? I think, guys, you're going to be excited about what we're going to present next, because this is exactly how we designed the webinar to help you overcome these challenges. So go ahead, Claude. Thank you, guys,
for participating. And that was some good points you brought up there. We have to focus more on the sales, guys, and less on the marketing and strategies. You could have the best strategies, the best leads, but can you convert them? Are you going to get on the phone? Are you going to speak to people? If you have good conversations with people, what we call adult to adult, they're comfortable. They feel like they like you. They trust you. Almost like your doctor, when you go to your doctor or a lawyer or accountant or someone you trust. That's what we call ourselves professionals, but unfortunately we're not perceived as that because of the way we sound on the phone. We sound like used car guys. We sound like clowns. We say the same tired things all the time to the prospect, and they know ahead of time who we are. They make a judgment on us. They lie to us and manipulate us because the 11th commandment says that you can lie, manipulate, or treat a salesperson brutally and still get into heaven. And we have to change that because we would never speak to someone who we respected and trusted or who could help us solve a problem as we would treat a strange salesperson who acts like one. We have to reinvent sales, guys. If you're going to get the success you want, this is the way to go. Let's move on here to the top 5 challenges investors and wholesalers face when it comes to talking to sellers and negotiating deals. And we got a lot of this from a survey, guys. It's the fear of getting rejected and lack of confidence. People, you've got to speak to the buyers and sellers and investors out there all the time. And if you have this fear, you're going to go clean the car. You're going to go wash. You're going to go do your laundry. You're going to do everything except the one thing that will get you to the bank today. And this is because of this natural fear, because we're treated so hard, so rudely sometimes, or we're manipulated and lied to. Who wants to go out there and be treated every day like that? But we can solve this, guys. I did, and I was the former world's worst sales guy. We get a hard time negotiating price because we're uncomfortable. We're unsure of ourselves. We're lacking in confidence. We don't know what to say. We do the stuff. Okay? I want you to know what to say and say the right words at the right time that evoke the reaction that you're looking for. How to overcome objections. What do we hear all the time, guys? I love when I do public speaking. For those of you who heard me in Vegas and San Diego and New York and all over the place, I love going in the audience and just doing overcoming objections with role plays. And what are the objections we hear? I'll think about it. Send me your contract. I'll talk to my spouse. I've got to speak to my attorney. You guys hear this stuff all the time, but are you prepared for it? And can you speak assertively and confidently so you can overcome these objections? And finally, you've got to get quality leads. I don't want a million garbage leads. I want good leads, and I want to, write this down, virtually attract these leads using social media marketing. I want to bring leads in where people call me every day, okay? Or I can have a follow-up system where I can call people I've called previously, and people change their minds all the time. So I want calls coming in through my marketing. I want to follow-up calls, and I want to make cold calls, okay? We're in a business that is so wonderful because the prospects actually advertise. They actually tell us that they have a house for sale or for rent. But then when we call them up and we're the 3rd or 30th person to call them and they've heard it all before, you know how they treat us. So we can call cold calls and convert them to warm. We can set up a marketing plan and attract wonderful quality leads for next to nothing. And we can do a follow-up system so we can recycle leads that may be more productive at a future time and place. Let's talk about the GUTS method here. Okay, the GUTS method basically is a system. It's a 3-step system. I call it my staircase to success, and it's basically the 3 things that you can memorize, you can put in your mind, you can take with you anywhere. You learn this system, this methodology that is contemporary, that it really involves transactional analysis. I'll get into that in a little while. It's a way of making sales profitable, in your control, and fun. It's broken down into 3 parts. And I'm going to get through as much as I can today. The most important part, I would say, is the agenda, the opening of the door, getting your foot in the door, opening up that relationship with that prospect. This is where the magic begins to happen, guys. This is the step here on the first step. And think of a little staircase, and the first step as you're rising up to the close is the agenda. Then we have the qualification, and then we have the close. The agenda is basically parts where, did you want me to get into the details of the agenda here, Yassine, or is that in a further part of the outline here.
Yeah, it's yeah. So that's our focus on this webinar, because the agenda is the first 3 minutes of your conversation with the seller.
Okay.
You get this right,
Yeah.
and everything will flow smoothly from there.
Okay, I didn't know how much time we wanted to spend on this, but the agenda is where where the perception is created with the prospect. It's where we sound different. It's where we're trying to get them to perceive us as someone they can trust, someone who is getting back to them, someone who has a solution to their problem, their needs and greeds, as I call it. And this is where the magic really begins. And when we speak to people, we use these psychological deal triggers to open up a conversation. Most people in the agenda step, if you want to call traditional salespeople, and nobody talks about this stuff, they just say, pick up the phone and read my script. Well, scripts are boring, and they're an insult to the intelligence of the prospect, and they don't do much good for the salesperson either. Scripts are garbage, guys. Put them in the shredder. I'm the only guy who's going to tell you this, because the minute you hear someone reading a script, you right away know you're dealing with somebody who's trying to sell you, and you have diminished that person. So we have to act, we want to create an atmosphere where the prospect says, hey, this is someone I like, I know, someone may have an answer to my problem. Think about it this way. They would never treat someone they know, someone from work, a neighbor, a trusted, a fellow employee, the way they treat a salesperson. So let's stop acting like the traditional salesperson in the agenda step. The second part, of course, is the qualification. Qualification is we need information. We need to know how to, basically how to do it. Do they have the need? Do they own the property? Do they have the money to buy a new property or put a down payment or option consideration? How do they make decisions in their family? Can they make a decision? Do they have the character? Qualification is where we get the information. The agenda is where we open the door and create a relaxed state between the prospect and the salesperson in real estate. Qualification is where we get the information to determine whether or not this is someone we can do business with or we should fire. If we get through the qualification step, then we get to the close. But we're not little beggars. We don't ask for the order. We're not going to give a presentation until we have the right information, and then we basically, something wonderful happens. The prospect turns into the salesperson. They start asking us questions. They get emotionally involved, and now they want to do business with us. And we have what we call that adult-to-adult dialogue. We summarize all the needs and greeds of the qualification step. We get a tentative or full commitment, and then basically we say, Mr. or Mrs. Prospect, what would you like to do next? And they either give it to us or we go back to the beginning and do it all over again. 3 simple steps: agenda, qualification, commitment, close, or close. Let's go to the next part here. The agenda mistakes. There's scripts. People read scripts. I spoke about it before. You're reading a script, and right away they have diminished you and they have dismissed you. And now they're talking to you like you're a little child, and they're your parents scolding you for not doing your homework or something. You've already diminished yourself in their eyes so quickly, it's horrible. Then we give a premature presentation. Do you suffer from the agony of premature presentation? Stop giving presentations in the early part of the conversation. You don't know what they want, what they need, what they can afford. You're not a mind reader. You're not Kreskin, okay? You have to ask the right questions and set up that agenda early so you know whether both of you are on the same page. Begging. This is salespeople diminish themselves. They act subservient to the prospect all the time, and they basically sound like beggars. And you know what? You've got to act like a professional, and you want the respect that you deserve, especially in real estate. Real estate's a big decision. Nobody wants to work with someone who's begging for the deal. And you guys know what I want. You got to get emotional, or get them emotional. You've got to control your emotions, and you want to be intellectual. You want to be the adult in the room, and but you want to get them emotional. You don't want to lose control of the process, where you start getting so emotional and you're not thinking through the process. You're not using the system. Okay, these are the big mistakes when talking to wholesalers or buyers, sellers, or anyone. You've got to have a system. 6 psychological deal triggers to eliminate rejection and control the conversation. Let's do it a little overview here. Everything I'm speaking to you about is based on my experiences. It's what I learned from Max, and it's based on the psychology and the science of persuasion, okay, of transactional analysis. How do we get people to like us? How do we get them to trust us? You know, one of the people I studied besides Max was Dr. Albert Cialdini. I always say it wrong. He wrote The Psychology of Persuasion. He basically spoke about scarcity, social proof, accountability, reciprocity, authority, commitment and consistency, liking and trust. He spoke about these things that persuade or influence people in the words we use in the conversation we do. This was a big influence on me, and I basically wanted to adapt some of the concepts of persuasion from Dr. Cialdini into my gut sales method. The next one was Dr. Eric Byrne. He wrote Games People Play. He is the father from Canada of transactional analysis. He said we all we have ego state roles. At different times we're the child, where we're immature, we're emotional. Sometimes we're the parent, where we're either we're authoritative, we're critical, or we're nurturing. And sometimes we're the adult in the room, where we're basically intellectual and we make decisions based on that intellect. And he felt that in any conversation, we go through the adult, the child, or the parent in many different stages, and these ego states are emotional except for the adult, which is intellectual. Dr. Byrne gave birth to Dr. Harris, his student, not literally birth, and Dr. Harris wrote, I'm okay, you're okay, which basically took off and made this a very readable book and format to understand transactional analysis. My mentor, Max, he was a natural-born salesperson. He understood how people ticked. He just had that. I was not a natural salesperson. I had to learn from someone who understood it better than me. And Max would pick up the phone, and the magic would happen. He would tell stories. He would interact with people. They would ask him questions. He would gain likability, and that would eventually evolve into trust. And that to me is speaking to people and having those good conversations with the right information. It just makes all the difference rather than giving the same old dog and pony show presentations to people. We need to learn to leverage the human reactions, their responses. When people say, you know, when they ask you all these questions and they pick your brain, are you getting commitments up front, or are you turning questions into questions with stroking and nurturing? And we'll get into that also. That's a big part of the psychological deal triggers, is what do people say and how do they feel? What do they say or do? What's their perception? And can you anticipate it? You know, when you ask somebody, gee, why are you selling your home? And they say, I don't know. Are you really having a dialogue? You might want to do something like a redirection, or redirection with people, where you basically say, well, it's a beautiful home, why don't you just stay in there, hoping to get to the truth eventually with people, to get the answer. Well, we're selling it because we're behind in payments, because we bought another house, or our kids grow up, it's too much room. You're trying to ask the questions of these people to get an idea of how to sell them and why what you're going to need to do to motivate them to want to do business with you. You know, if any of you have ever played chess, chess is a game where the really great chess masters think 2 or 3 moves ahead. Okay, and that's kind of what we have to do. We have to anticipate what the prospects are going to say, what they're thinking, almost as though we're a mind reader. Let's talk a little bit here about triggers, psychological deal triggers. Let's talk about the micro commitment here. Deal trigger number 1. In the beginning, especially in the agenda step, we want to get these little baby step commitments. We want to sound different. Most places you go to, the salesperson holds out like a car dealership or something like that. They do a little cursory hello, and then they go into their script or presentation. With Guts, we want to get a little commitment. We want to draw a roadmap. We want to be transparent. authentic with people so that they say, hey, maybe this guy's got something here. We want to go to the prospect and say, hey, Mr. or Mrs. Prospect, do you mind if I'm going to ask you a couple questions? I'm very interested in your property. I'm looking to do a transaction or deal today. I am an investor, and I have many different ways I can make offers to you today. Would you mind if I asked you a few questions, and so I have a better idea what you're looking for, and then you ask me a few questions, and then at the end of this conversation, we'll decide if we want to move over or we're done. You can fire me if you like. You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to worry about saying you'll think about it. If it's not right, I'm here for you, and if it's right for you, it's right for me. Is that okay? Can we have that understanding? And basically what I'm trying to do here with this deal trigger is say something that gets them off balance. They've never heard a character like me who said it's okay to fire me. It's okay can I ask you questions? You ask me questions. Can we have this adult to adult dialogue? And what I'm hoping to gain initially by opening the door in the early stages in the agenda is to gain the trust that we're all talking about here. Number two, a psychological deal trigger. Number two, struggling child. Sometimes when we sell to people, we act like we get very emotional. Oh, can you help me? I'm looking for a deal, and they sound basically. It's basically where they have your number. They've already decided you're a kid, and they can talk down to you. They can be the parent in the room and say, "Oh, you're the third person to call me, and you guys are all the same and everything." And if we act this way, and many people do, like a little child who's struggling or begging, is it any wonder why the prospects treat us like garbage all the time? We can't act like this. We have to act like the adult in the room, or sometimes like the nurturing parent. Sometimes when we talk to people, they want to say, well, I have a problem. I can't afford the house anymore. I'm behind in my payment. We don't want to be the begging little child. We want to be the nurturing adult. And you might want to tell a story. Mr. and Mrs. Prospect, my family, my brother had the same problem. I just read about someone with the same problem. It's a really tough economy right now. You know, maybe I have a few ideas. If I can ask you a few questions, maybe I can help you solve this problem or minimize it. Is that all right with you? So we don't want to be the child in the room in this essence of sales. We want a psychological deal trigger number three, a pattern interrupt. This is a little tricky here, and it's very involved. But basically, we want to sound different. We want to, we want to go to the prospect and try, like for openers on the agenda. Mr. and Mrs. Prospect, you have a problem. Now, there's a little silence sometimes when you say that to people on the first phone call. Most people who call up, hi, I'm calling about your house in Craigslist. I wouldn't say that. I might say something like, Mr. and Mrs. Prospect, you have a problem. And they'll say, what do you mean I have a problem? I'll say, well, you have a beautiful home in a lovely neighborhood, and I don't understand why it hasn't sold yet. Could you help me out with that? That's a pattern interrupt. That's also called a gut sales move. This is the psychological deal triggers to open a pattern of conversation that sounds unlike anyone else. I would say this is one of the most important because you're going to call them let me give you another one here. Mr. and Mrs. Prospect, I have your number in front of me here. Why am I calling? Can you help me? Something different where they're answering a question and they're not putting you into the same old square peg in the round hole like they do all the other salespersons. God, I wish we had 5 hours to talk about this, you see. I'd love to go into more on this.
Yeah, this is great. I mean, and if you could give us like an examples and some role plays for each trigger, because this is...
Well, why should I... Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, why should I work with... they go, well, why should they work with you? I've heard that. I said, well, maybe you shouldn't.
Right.
And then just be quiet for a second. See, they're expecting you to be defensive and go back into your presentation and act all salesy and everything. Well, why do you have references? Well, good question. And then I reward them as a parent would to a child. Well, that's a good question. I'm glad you brought that up. Why is that important to you right now? Why do you need references? If I can give you references that meet with your personal satisfaction, what would happen next when we speak at 4:30 this afternoon? Pattern interrupts are where you speak completely different, you raise their EQ, you ask questions that get them a little off balance so that you stay totally in control. This takes practice, guys, but I got to tell you something. Talk about $1 million psychological deal trigger. This is the stuff nobody teaches. How do you respond and keep control by saying things that are totally unexpected, either in your questions or in your answers? Oh, guys, Yassine, can I have 3 hours to talk about this?
I wish. Yeah.
Oh, man. Oh, God, I wish we had more and more time on this. Psychological deal trigger number 4, likability and trust. This comes from Dr. Cialdini. Really, people, and you don't have to be a nuclear scientist to figure this out. People, we all do business with people we like and we trust. Okay, listen, I work out of my homes here in Colorado and California and Hawaii and other places. Okay, I don't have a fancy office building. I always put my money back into my own houses and real estate and made them mortgage free. I don't have a staff of 30, 40, 50 people and a bunch of virtual assistants and everything. All I do is talk to people. I give good phone, and I try to be as straightforward and honest and get to the core. I'm like a doctor. When you go to your doctor or your lawyer's office, they don't say, hey, we're having a special on back surgery, hop on the table. Did you see our coupon? They say, why are you here, Mr. Prospect? Why are you here, patient? Where does it hurt? When did it start hurting? What's our feelings, our emotion about someone we know and trust who asks those kind of questions? We like those people. We want to trust them. Don't they want, when we talk about real estate, what is the greatest financial investment you're ever going to make in your life? It is real estate. And don't you want to trust the person, the investor, that you're doing business with? If you don't gain likability and trust, you're doomed to fail. This is a really big deal trigger, guys. Psychological deal trigger number 5, redirection. This takes practice, guys, practice, but it is a way of staying in control. People love to ask you questions, and in many cases, what you end up becoming is a free consultant for the whole conversation. Then they dismiss you. Then you follow up. You chase them. You leave voicemails. You don't want to get into wasting time. Millionaires do not waste time. They redirect with the psychological deal trigger of answering a question with a question.
Claude,
okay?
can we quickly role play, for instance, the redirection,
Sure.
just so we can demonstrate it?
Sure. Go ahead. Ask me a question.
So Claude, you're calling me about my house. So are you an investor? I've been getting calls all day from other investors who are wanting to get my house. They're lowballing me. I'm not interested in talking to investors. Are you an investor?
I can be whatever you want, sir. You must have brought that up for a reason. Help me out here.
Yeah, I just want to sell my house, and I don't want people to, rob me from my property.
If I was in your position, I'd probably feel the same way. Have you had situations where people did rob you, or you had unsatisfactory results? Tell me about it.
Exactly. Yeah.
You see, and thank you for reminding me. Are we okay on time on this section?
Yeah, we got a little bit faster, but I think demonstrating these triggers will help the attendees get a better grasp.
I wish we had so much more time to do more of these role plays and things. It's just not enough. Redirection is where you don't become a free consultant. You turn questions into questions, but you stroke, nurture, and become empathetic. Okay, and God, I could do a seminar on just this psychological deal trigger here, because this allows you to gain information, stay in control, remain different, gain the trust and the likability, and you're getting into the core issues of why the prospect may be attacking you or reluctant to answer information. This is so powerful. God, I'm frustrated. I can't talk more about this. Psychological deal trigger number 6 here. Using humor, storytelling. A lot of people tell me, well, gee, Claude, I got to talk to my wife. And I said, it's a good point. Let me ask my wife if it's okay to sell you. Or, why should I work with you? Well, maybe you shouldn't, sir. Or I want to, I need to think about it. Well, you're really not allowed to, sir. And I have a lot of fun with humor interjected in this. Doesn't always work, by the way, but when people like to laugh, and laughter is an emotion, and when we're on a conversation with somebody where we're having a pleasant experience, this endears you more to likability and trust. Storytelling, oh my gosh. You got to tell stories or examples. The great salespeople in the world, I've studied all of them. Max was one, are storytellers. They tell stories that relate to the situation. They set up examples, and they endear you to the prospect. So you're not just doing presentations or asking for the order. You're involved on an adult-to-adult level, and you're making them emotional sometimes. Once you're the master of these things, and I apologize, I went through them so fast because each one of these could possibly be a course in itself on these psychological deal triggers. Once you're the master of the things that I've spoken about here in the GUTS method, the agenda, qualification, commitment, close, anticipating reaction, studying the psychology of persuasion and influence, learning these psychological triggers, and there's many more than just these 6. I just wanted to give you the 6 biggies here, guys. And learning how to master these things, you are now in control of the entire process of sales. You're having so much more fun, and you're going to the bank much more often. Let's go to part 4 here. What happens after you eliminate rejection and take control of the conversation? Oh my gosh, you just have so much more, you have just so much more control. The 3 steps are: agenda is number 1. The second step is qualification. The third step is the close. Okay? And you've got to get, in the qualification step, you have got to get the information that you need. What is their need and greed? Another word for motivation. Why are they motivated enough to do business today? And I use something, I call it the Claude barometer. I give them a score. Are they an 8, 9, or 10? They're really motivated. Is it a financial or emotional issue, or is it 1, 2, or 3? They could care less. You get to make the decisions based on the questions you asked and the qualification here, and you get to decide whether or not you're dealing with a prospect that you can make money with and put food on the table and pay your bills, or you're wasting your time and you're just giving away free information. You've got to ask the questions in your qualification that give you the needs and the greeds. You've got to qualify for time. Do they want to do a deal today or 6 months from today? I've talked to so many realtors who have taken people out, driven them around on houses and things like that, and they say, well, and then in the end when they were all done, well, this is great, and 6 months from now we'll be sure to call you or do a deal with you. You've got to address the time frame in your qualification. You've got to find their motivation and the time. Money and finance. Now, this is where I go a little different. I think we need to talk about money very, very early in the process, guys. Most people do not like to talk about money, but in real estate, don't you want to know, do they have the money to do the deal? Do they have the option money to put down? We look for 2 to 10% option money up front. Do they have the money or the ability to finance? You talk about this in the beginning, and you do it gut style with stroking and nurturing. Mr. and Mrs. Prospect, do you mind if we talk about money? Money's important in real estate. Have you set aside a budget? Have you been pre-qualified with a mortgage lender? What would your budget allow you, or what are you comfortable putting down as a commitment today to your future home? How much money do you need in order for us to do a deal today? What's the least amount of money you'll take? All these questions can be done gut style so that you know up front whether or not you have a potential to make money, get a contract, do a deal today, or waste a lot of time. Also, the ability to finance. How much can they pay per month consistently? These are things you need to know. Authority. You need to know, how do they make decisions? How many times have we wasted giving our presentations, driving people around, making phone calls to someone who's not the owner of the property or only one of the owners of the property? We have to find out up front, and there's ways to do it with guts questioning, how do they make decisions? Who is the authority person? Mr. or Mr. Prospect, now that we're on the phone, if you like me and I like you and we can do a deal, are you the how does your family make commitments? How do you make decisions? Who is the person who has the authority to decide whether or not we move forward here? What's your process? And finally, integrity. Okay? Mr. and Mrs. Prospect, it's been a pleasure to meet you. I'm glad I have a contract here. And you comfortable signing this agreement? Are you okay with it? You strike me as people that when you give a commitment, you stick to it. You're old school like me. I can take I can take your promise to any bank in this country. Why do I feel that way about you? Integrity, character, real important. Commitment close. Oh, I'm moving through this so fast. The ability, sometimes when you're in a negotiation, you have to change the price or the terms. You have to review things with people. So when we get to that third step, we have to learn to change things up, make things different, the price, the length of the contract, the down payment, the option money, the rent credit. These are the change parts here that we have to take care of up front. We have to confirm everything with people. We want to review their needs, their greeds, the financial process, the length of the contract. Are they comfortable? And finally, the commitment. Once again, we got to get the commitment. And the beautiful thing about guts is if you do it the right way, this wonderful transition happens where they want to buy. They want to do business with you. They don't feel like you've cornered them or pressured them. Finally, let's talk about the guts booster here, the follow-up. These are the things I use to make my business hum. Okay, I use a call log. I use a notebook. I write. I'm starting in the middle here, guys. Everything I do, I write down with my conversation, the phone numbers, the numbers of the deal, why they're selling it, what the score is. All that information goes into my little call log here, my notebook. I then take it, I put it into Evernote. A call log can be just a simple little composition book where you can readily grab a pen or pencil, write the information down, and then later on you transmit it to Evernote, which is, if you're not familiar with Evernote, it is genius. It is free, guys. I'm not here to sell you anything, but when I get talking to someone on a deal, I take all that information, I put it into Evernote, and we don't have the time today, but I use Evernote as my customer CRM. It's the way I run my business so that I always have follow-up. Evernote sends me reminders. It sends everything is there the way I like to. I can find any client, any prospect, maybe someone I spoke to months ago. I don't remember anything, and I get a reminder from Evernote to call them back, because even though we couldn't do a deal today, maybe we can do a deal tomorrow. Follow-up is really important. Writing stuff down, and then I take a picture with Evernote. They have a wonderful camera feature. It uploads. I can look at it in my computer, in my iPad, in my iPhone, or anyone else's computer. It's genius and it's free. I don't know how they do it. Personal videos. This is a biggie, guys. I send a video to everyone. I make offers every day, and after I get off the phone with people, I send them a personal video. Video has impact. I shoot a short video. Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. What a pleasure to speak with you. I'm going to send you a letter of intent, a short contract today. Could you review it and call me back by Thursday at 2:30? And what a pleasure to meet with you. My name is Claude Diamond once again. My phone number is 619-206-5960. Please feel free to call me with any questions. Follow-up is so important, guys. Saving your notes and following up with video. It's big. Let's go over here to strategies. Only then you learn all the different strategies, because now you have the foundation. You know how to sell. You're comfortable in selling. And you basically, once you have the sales mastered, using or intersecting the different strategies that you have is wonderful, whether it's a lease purchase or wholesale or whatever. Sales is where you start to study and learn, guys. All the strategies in the world won't help you. I make 4 offers that will guarantee profitability to people. I always make a cash offer. By the way, I tell everybody, this is a question I'm often asked, do you tell them you're an investor? Yes, absolutely. I'm very upfront about it. I say, folks, I'm an investor. There's many different ways I can do real estate. Maybe I can help you solve your problem, renting your home, selling a home, getting into a home, or investing in a home. I also tell them that I'm a consultant in real estate too, and after a few years you should be able to say that too. Now, I make people cash offers, so if I can get a cash deal on a property, I can then take that and wholesale it. I can buy it myself. I can sell the contract to somebody else very easily. All my contracts have what is called an assignability clause. I can do owner finance. In many cases, when someone has a low or no mortgage, I can get the owner to take their equity and become the bank. Owner finance is probably one of the least used strategies, and it is wonderful. In many cases, I can do principal-only payments, sometimes interest-only payments, and in other cases, amortized payments. But if I eliminate the bank, I eliminate a lot of the headaches of this business by having owner finance. My third offer is usually a lease purchase. I love lease purchasing. As you know, I've written books on it. Basically, it's leverage. It allowed, Max used to always say to me that the tenants are smarter than the investor. And what he meant was the investor puts the money up 10, 20, 30%, goes to the bank, has to pay taxes, insurance, everything. And the tenant, all the tenant has to do to control the property is put first and last down. And if they know how to do an option or a lease purchase, they can rent the property, okay, have control of the property, and then also have the right to rent it, sublet it, option it, sandwich lease it, assign it, wholesale it. They can do 20 different things by just renting it. And then finally, the consultation. I've written books and I have packages on this too. Very few investors realize that their time, knowledge, and energy are valuable, and they can monetize this by giving people solutions to real estate problems and being compensated for it. God, I could do a seminar on that too, Yassine. Let's talk about marketing here, guys. Once you have any of the two above dialed in, okay, you can then make any marketing channel work. Direct mail, Craigslist, PPC, SEO, etc. I'm a big believer in social media marketing, and utilizing it with the GUTS method gives me the quality leads so that I can use all these different strategies and speak to enough people comfortably all day long. Somebody usually says yes. 3 steps to mastering real estate sales and negotiation. Knowledge. You've got to have the knowledge, the background. You've got to have an accountability. Let me just review this here. Accountability partner or a mentor. I was fortunate. I had a mentor who probably saved me years and tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars in waste. Find that one person who has the knowledge base, who is successful, who has done what you want to do. Shorten the learning curve. Learn from someone who has the right to teach and is accountable to you. Someone who does answer their own phone. Someone who does live the life that you want to live, is financially stable, is doing business honestly. This is the person you want to get into your world. You want to glean their knowledge, because instead of 10 years, maybe you can get it down to a few months because you've shortened the learning curve. And finally, the most important to being successful in real estate and mastering it is practice, practice, practice. All the things that I spoke to you about today, guys, you have to practice. You have to learn. And you cannot get it. There's no magic pill here, guys. It takes skill and work. Let's go to next steps here. That is not opening. There we go. Yay. You're at your computer. You're watching this webinar. You've heard how this works. You know that using a proven sales process and the psychological deal triggers can be a great way to close more deals, guys. Okay, there's 2 ways to go about this. Pretty simple. Option number 1, take what you've learned on this webinar. I think you're going to have the access to it after this. And take what I've spoken about so fast. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get as much information in here as fast as possible. This is the stuff that made me successful. Learning the psychology, the psychological deal triggers, the marketing, and learning of the different strategies. But number 1, guys, don't forget it. It's your takeaway, is sales, psychology, deal triggers. This is what you got to take away from. Then we have option number 2 here. Join me and other students like yourself, and I have a 4-week, this is brand new, guys, called the GUTS Sales Mastery Group Coaching Program. Let me talk to you about this. This is brand new. This program is specifically designed to help you. You learn to control the conversation at hello, right at the beginning. No more scripts and presentation and uncomfortable feeling. You get to qualify the seller in 3 minutes or less. You know exactly what to say, how to say it, and why you say it. This is big, guys. You start closing more deals in the 4 weeks or less. I will guarantee that. So if you want to, You want to eliminate the constant rejection and gain a boost in confidence. Imagine making phone calls, talking to people, feeling great. Easily negotiate better deals starting today. Never be at a loss again for the words. We've all had those uncomfortable moments. Never again. You know exactly what to say and how to persuade people, how to get them on your side so they want to do business with you. Effortlessly overcome sellers the biggest objections because you're prepared. You understand what they're thinking, why they're saying it, and you know the exact correct response on that. Effortlessly overcome those objections right away. I mean, you're on automatic pilot, guys. You practice, you know what to say. Confidently close more deals, all in 4 weeks. All in 4 weeks. This is specifically for you. This is what you need. And this is how we'll do it. We're going to do 4 live training sessions, guys. Week number 1, I'm going to go over the Guts Method Master Class. What is this? This is where we discover my guts philosophy so you can shift your mindset and gain control and confidence as an investor. You will be 2 feet above the ground, guys. You will feel wonderful. You will learn the guts rules to adapt, and I got a lot of rules, guys, and they're all about you going to the bank. To learn to adapt the beliefs and attitude of a successful real estate investor and wholesaler. Okay, you got to learn these rules. Sales is the key here. Uncover all the psychological deal triggers. I just touched on a few of them today very quickly. We're going to go into much greater detail on them to influence and persuade sellers. We're going to learn the 3-step success staircase to effortlessly move the seller up the yes ladder and close them, and master the art and science of how to ask questions. Questions not like a cross-examining attorney or a police pull you over for a speeding ticket. How to ask questions with stroking, nurturing, empathy, with redirection. So you can extract all the information that will help you close the deal. That's what it's all about. Week number 2, we're going to go into the agenda workshop here. We're going to discover the word-for-word conversation openers to put the seller off balance and control the conversation from the get-go. You're the one who's in control. You're the authority figure. You're the professional. You're going to learn how to get the seller to trust you and answer your questions like an open book. When you have trust, remember what I said earlier? It's a blank check in front of you. You're going to find out how to draw a map so you can relieve the seller's anxiety and eliminate all the possibilities of rejection. You're going to discover how to employ trigger number 3, pattern interruption, to interrupt that seller's pattern and diffuse the aggressiveness, the anger that they get sometimes. You know, when they get snippy to you, you're in control, you understand how they feel, you're going to become the person who diffuses all that negativity. This workshop is all about practice. We're going to role play. We're going to practice and master the agenda step together here at that second workshop, week number 2. It's a lot of content, guys. It's a lot of stuff here. We're going to go week number 3 here, the qualification. This is a biggie also. We're going to learn the only 5 things you need to know about the seller to either go for the close or fire them. And when I say fire them, we do that very nicely, very politely. We save the information in our follow-up system. We maybe come back to them, but we don't waste time. Millionaires don't waste time, guys. They work smart. God gives everybody 24 hours in a day. How come some people make all the money in the world and other people struggle their whole life? What's the difference? It's about learning these psychological deal triggers, how to ask the right questions at the right time, set the agenda, and qualify. Okay? You discover how to use psychological deal trigger number 5 to ask the questions with finesse and extract the information you need. We're in the information business. Your doctor doesn't just do surgery on you or give you a pill. Your doctor, she asks you questions. She does a diagnosis. We've got to start acting this way in 2017. Get the information we need so we can make the determination whether or not this is a prospect, this is a deal, we can go to the bank or we're wasting time. We have to find out how to use the guts barometer to quickly score the seller. Are they a 1 or 2 or 3? The Claude Guts Barometer is basically where we decide, is there some emotion or is there nothing there, there's no motivation? Or are they a 5 or a 6? We can develop them with the questions we ask, with redirection. or are they an 8, 9, or 10? They are a hot prospect. They have a big problem. They have needs and grades, and we have to solve it today. We have to learn how to deploy these psychological deal triggers, number one, to get a commitment up front from the seller before you even give them your offer. Right up front, we know, is this someone we can do business with? Can we get a tentative or partial commitment from the very beginning? And just like the agenda workshop, this is all going to be about practice, guys. This is what I'm going to do during these workshops. We're going to practice, practice, practice. We're going to role play. We're going to practice some more. And we're going to master this qualification step right after we master the agenda step. All together here. Let's go on to the fourth class here. And that is the close workshop. We're going to discover how to build rapport with the seller and demonstrate empathy. So empathy, what are they thinking? What are they feeling? So that you can gain their acceptance and open them up to the close. We're not little children begging, Mommy, give me this, or I want that. We want the seller to want to do business, or the investor, or the buyer. We want to make them buy from us. We want to make them do business with us. We all have people in our lives that we trust implicitly, hopefully, even though they may not be the biggest or the richest or have the fanciest office, but they're people we know and trust. That is, Guts is about getting people to like us and trust us. I know I'm redundant here, but I can't tell you, when you meet when people feel this way about you, business is so much easier. We got to find the right time to make the offer and how to satisfy the seller's needs to avoid the rejection. We don't make the traditional offers. We go to the prospect, say, Mr. or Mrs. Prospect, this is the problem you have. These are the solutions I have that we can do on a timely basis that can work within your budget. How do you feel about that? What would you like to do next? It's okay to say, it's okay to fire me, like I said early on in the agenda. Now, I just did this as a role play. There's so many different ways to do this without diminishing yourself, without begging, without becoming the child. These are psychological triggers that make the prospect say, this is someone, I think they're right, they make a lot of sense, they were listening to me, I want to do business with this person. We got to learn how to tell the seller, this is big, guys, oh, I could do a seminar on this one part alone. We got to learn how to turn the seller into the salesperson and have them chase us for the deal. There's something really magical that happens here, guys. It happens all the time. It's basically where the prospect now becomes the salesperson. It's kind of a transference that happens only in this Guts and psychological deal trigger system. It's where the prospect starts selling us, starts asking us emotional questions, and they will actually give you the deal. They will beg you if you understand this process. Can you imagine the prospect does the work for you? You sit back and relax and smile and have a lot of fun because you know exactly what's going to happen. We can learn how to we discover how to use the psychological deal trigger number 8 to triple close the seller and lock in the deal. Okay, this is something. This is really big. Closing. How to convert them. How to confirm everything. How to negotiate with them, and how to get them to give us the order and lock in the deal. And just like other workshops, this is all going to be, once again, I'm using that word, practice. We're going to role play. I love role playing, guys. If you've ever heard me speak publicly or in my group calls with my mentees, my private group calls, or my one-on-one, I'm big on role playing. Why? Because the more you practice, like in anything else, the better you get at it. And you can't just read a book or just listen to this one webinar and say, I have it. You won't. You practice so it's intuitive, it's natural, and you can close people without even thinking about it. Let's talk about the price of this program. This is all brand new, guys. You're getting the same system my students and I personally use to close 4- and 5-figure deals all the time. For the past 30 years, I've only done one-on-one mentoring. And it's just the way I like to teach people. And I've had so many people ask me, gee, Claude, you charge a lot of money. And I do. I'm probably one of the highest paid, if not the highest paid sales trainer in real estate in this country or in the world. I get anywhere from $12,000 to $25,000. And I can document that. It's why? Because I train people personally, and I show them the system that gave me the 7-figure, 8-figure lifestyle that I always wanted. And you can ask any of my students. I'm a pretty transparent person here. And just go on to YouTube, and you'll see all the people I'm training. I've been hired by large brokerage firms and real estate companies. I get paid up to $50,000. I am expensive, but it's all about sales, guys. It is the $1 million skill. Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this, you're all asking? I'm doing this because I want to make this program, I want to give you guys something that is affordable, that will teach you these $1 million sales, psychological deal trigger skills. So this is, I've never done this before, guys, so I want to put it in something that's affordable to you guys. If you go to any of the guru programs out there, and I say guru, I'm a mentor, it's out there, there's some group coaching programs for no less than $5,000, $10,000, sometimes more. And guess what's the only thing they don't talk about? The money they charge, they even want a percentage of your deals. I would never do that, guys. It's not what I do. I think it's a conflict of interest. You're paying enough money to a guru. Now they want a percentage of your deal. A lot of times they don't even work with you. And you guys who know me, I think guruing is not the same as mentoring. Okay, they hand you over to a graduate student or a virtual assistant or some third party. I'm going to tell you right now, that is a principle of failure. If you're not working with the person who is legitimately successful, you're wasting your time and money with these people. So you're just not getting the value. And then there's the missing link, guys. And as an upsell, they even get you more. They charge you one thing, they hand you off to a third party who's never made more money than a Walmart greeter, and then they upsell you for other programs and applications and things. So here's what I'm bottom line here, guys. Here's what I'm going to do today. If you act today, my price is $997. That's it. $997. This is unique. This is an experiment. I may or may not do it again. Remember, I've been mentoring people for 30 years while I've been in business. I've never done anything like this before. And I want to see if you guys, those of you who can't afford a $25,000 to $50,000 mentor, want to learn the same sales skills in this 4-week program. I want to keep it small and focused. I don't like major. I like small groups when I'm teaching. I'm making this available to only 30 students, and I mean that. So first 10 who sign up, the first 10 people, this is what you're going to get for the first 10. You're going to get 2 30-minute one-on-one private sessions with me personally. That's going to be on the phone, on Skype, on FaceTime, whatever you want. I'm going to work with the first 10 people privately for 2 30-minute sessions. You can ask me questions. I'll make cold calls with you. I'll record it. I'll do what you want. But that's only for the first 10 people, guys. I can't do it for the whole group. I'm sorry. It's about time, once again. I'll role play with you. I'll cold call with you. I'll answer any question you give me that's reasonable. Okay? The role plays are great, and you give me a phone call, I'll make it for you, and I'll record it. And I might even set up the deal for you. It happens many a time here. That's only for the first 10 people. 30 days of unlimited email access to me. You can ask me any questions. You can text me. You can email me. Ask me any questions you want. That's what I'm here to do with you. Right now, you have to go to this link right here. It's bit.ly/gutsmasterpro. Yassine, can you put that in the chat or something for them?
Yeah, we'll do. I dropped it already, but let me drop it again. Here's the link. Here's the link. Yeah, and if you're having issues clicking on the links, because maybe a lot of people are clicking on it, so let me know if you can access the site. Yeah.
Let's email it to them also, or make it as accessible. I know you'll take care of that problem. But that's the link right there, guys, bit.ly/gutsmasterypro. Here's what to do next. Go to the link, enter your information, and sign up. You'll receive an email with all the information on how to sign up. First training starts February 27th, this January. Then every week for 3 weeks, you'll receive an email with the information to sign up to the upcoming workshop. Every week we're going to take this, we're going to go into the different aspects of the psychological deal triggers. You're going to become a master gut salesperson. So if you want to, eliminate the rejection and gain boost in confidence. I just got to talk about this for a minute, guys. Feeling good about yourself, being self-aware, picking up the phone with no hesitation. Once you learn this system, you will, everything about the deals, the quantity of the deals, the quality of the deals, the money you will make, it's all about the sales. You've got to take my word on it, or talk to my students, or watch my videos. It is all about the sales. And when you feel good and you know what to say on the phone and how to answer questions, you're a $1 million gut salesperson. You're free the rest of your life. You have a blank check in front of you forever. You've learned to, you will eliminate all rejection from people. They won't be able to make a judgment on you. You know, you're intellectual, you're the adult in the room, you feel great. You'll easily negotiate better deals all the time. You'll never be at a loss again for words, and you know how to persuade and influence people. You are now a modern gut salesperson, and you're just going to blow away your competition that is using tired 40, 50-year-old sales methods, asking for the order, reading boring scripts, giving presentations that no one wants to hear. You're going to effortlessly overcome sellers' biggest objections. You're going to confidently close more deals, all in 4 weeks. Just go to that link there, bit.ly/gutsmasterpro right now and sign up. Oh wait, it gets even better. But wait, there's more. You're protected with my guarantee. You have 30 days to test out this program before you need to decide whether or not you want to keep it. That's right, 30 days to test it out. Attend the webinar, sign up for the workshops right now, and role play with me. I love role playing. I'll make you strong. If you find you didn't get 10 times the value for your money, simply contact me and you get 100% back on your money. And that's my word on that, guy. And I'm big on my reputation. If you don't get the value, you get your money back. Just contact us and we'll give you a 100% refund. But what you'll really learn is how to be a wonderful, confident gut salesperson. Go to bit.ly gutsmasterpro right now and sign up. Oh, it got better. Oh, good. Let's see. You're going to get 2 bonus workshops. Oh my God, I got to do 2 more workshops here. If you sign up today, you're going to get bonus workshop number 1. So that means we have 5 workshops now, the 4 types of offers you need to make that guarantee your profitability. You're going to discover how to aggressively negotiate and structure cash offers for the lowest price. You're going to discover how to wholesale nice houses in awesome, great neighborhoods. I like good homes in good neighborhoods with low equity. Lisa, and we're going to learn a lot how to make these offers on lease options, true leverage, my favorite strategy. We're going to discover how to structure owner finance deals for maximum revenue. We're going to discover how to convert dead leads and get paid for simply consulting. This is something very few people know, and this is an extra workshop, guys. That's 5 workshops. Wait, workshop bonus number 2. We're up to 6 workshops here. We're going to text your way to deals with Yassine. Yassine, you want to talk about this? You want me to review it?
Yeah, I mean, so, I'm currently in over 7 markets, actually doing deals all virtually. And I partner up with a lot of real estate investors and wholesalers all around the country. And by far, my go-to marketing strategy is Craigslist. And we generate every week anywhere from 15 to 20 leads. Those are pre-qualified leads off of Craigslist alone by simply sending a text message. We don't post any ads. We don't cold call. We just send text messages, literally. After we pre-qualify the seller through the text message, only then we got on the phone. So I'm going to show you guys, once you master sales, right, all you really need then is leads, right? Now you have the sales process, you have the sales system down, you can convert sellers, and I'm going to show you how to get 4 to 7 seller leads every day by simply sending a text message. Now, it takes a little bit of time now you can outsource it to the Philippines for $3 an hour, or you can put in, say, 30 to 1 hour every day to do your own marketing, and that's all the marketing you need to do. You don't need to spend on direct mail, banded signs, all this stuff. All you need is a phone. I'll show you how to go on Craigslist, how to filter out properties, and so you can get a couple of leads every day. So Claude's rule is 5 leads or 5 phone calls every day, and I'm going to show you how to make it happen. And we're actually probably going to get your first lead live together on the workshop, because I mean, how long does it take to text someone? Literally seconds, right? So I'm going to show you exactly what to say, how to say, so you can start generating leads and then get on the phone with them, use the guts, use the psychological deal triggers to close them. So I'm going to do this probably 30, 60 minutes. I mean, honestly, I can show you all of this in 30 minutes, how to get your own leads. And then I'll show you in 15 minutes how to outsource it. Once you're busy doing appointments, putting out offers, then I'll show you how to outsource it all.
Wonderful. Excellent. So, oh wait, it even gets better. Look at this. There's new bonus number 2, the Gut Sales Mastery Facebook group. This is something I've never done, guys. I have a dedicated Facebook group. This is exclusive. If you sign up today for the training to preserve the quality of members, this is going to be a private little club. Only the people who sign up, the 30 people who sign up for this, they're going to get into the private club on Facebook. They're going to get daily accountability so they stay on track every day, take the actions necessary to close more deals, get feedback on your most pressing questions. We always have questions. Learn from other people's experience. This is your own private little club where you get to network, you get more information, and we keep it very closed, and this is proprietary. This is just for you guys right now. We're going to connect with other like-minded investors and wholesalers, and if you go to bit.ly Gutsmaster Pro right now and sign up, but oh my gosh, it still even gets better. We got another bonus number 3. We have a quick start video series. Oh, I got to talk about this. Guys, I made brand new 26 new Guts sales training videos where I talk about the rules of Guts, asking questions. These are short little videos on how to master the fundamentals of Guts method without getting overwhelmed. These are brand new, guys. This is new for 2017. You're going to get it in this promotion. In less than 5 minutes per day, it's going to be conveniently delivered to your mailbox. You're going to get to receive a short video training so you can learn my fundamental principles of the Guts system. Great, unorthodox techniques of sales and success. It's my methodology for you to master sales and start closing deals in no time. These will be short and quick and fun videos, by the way. I had a lot of fun making these because I love teaching sales. And you can get through these in minutes while brushing your teeth. Let's quickly recap this because this was a big, big offer here I made you guys. We get first 4 live training webinars: Gut Sales, Agenda Workshop, Qualification Workshop, and the How to Close Workshop. Then we have a bonus here. 2 additional workshops. That's 6, I believe. I'm using my fingers and toes. The 4 types of offers that guarantee you profitability and how to text your way to deals with Yassine. Bonus number 2, the Gut Sales Mastery private Facebook group. Okay, so up here, look at all these workshops, one-on-one workshop, group workshops. They're wonderful. You're going to get number 2, the private Facebook group. Bonus number 3, the Guts Quick Start, brand new video series, all for $997. I'm limiting it to 30 students. That's it. It's protected by my 30-day 100% money-back guarantee. You don't think you're getting the value, but you will. If you're not getting the results, you get your money back. I'm doing this as an experiment, guys. Never did it before. And honestly, I'm not sure if I'll ever offer it again in the future. If I do, it will most probably be at a much, much higher price. There's a lot of work putting this stuff together. There's a lot of content. It's going to change your world. What's the next step? You've watched this entire presentation. You want a sales method that'll help you close more deals. Okay? You know this is an excellent value. Your Uncle Claude wouldn't give it to you unless it was excellent. Take advantage of this incredible offer, the amazing bonuses and can't lose guarantee. Go to the link there, bit.ly Gutsmaster Pro right now and sign up. And Yassine, we're going to open up some Q&A here. If anyone has questions, they can give me a call at 619-206-5960. But let's open up some Q&A right now while people are signing up for the Guts Mastery, you see.
Yep. So let me see here. So they're asking, so this is great. This is a great offer. Excellent information. Thank you. Already signed up. Rodney, great. Welcome aboard. So the question is the training designed only for investors, real estate investors and wholesalers? Yeah. So this was designed specifically for real estate investors and wholesalers in mind to help you guys close more deals. Claude?
We wanted to make it mostly for real estate investors because we saw the problem in the industry. Nobody is talking about the psychology of persuasion influence. Nobody's talking about deal triggers. Could other people in other industries use this? Absolutely. But this was designed for people in the real estate industry, realtors, investors, people getting started, seasoned investors. That was our true focus here.
All right, so the next question, do you teach strategies, exists too, or just the sales method?
Well, I think we reviewed that. We teach a lot of strategies. We teach my favorite, lease purchasing. We're going to teach owner finance. We're going to teach subject to. We're going to teach wholesaling. We're going to go over all the strategies in these different workshops. You have to, it's like a tool belt. You want to work, you want to have the right tool at the right time. Sometimes you're going to do a cash offer. Sometimes you're going to consult and get paid for the offer. Sometimes it might be a sweat equity offer or a owner finance offer or subject to the existing finance or owner finance. You've got to learn the right strategy at the right time. Absolutely going over the strategies.
So guys, if you have any questions, please put them in the queue and I'll read them out to Claude. So will this help us find more deals in general?
It will teach you how to not lose deals, You're spending a lot of time and money learning. You're spending an enormous amount of time on marketing for leads or utilizing up the leads, and you're losing these deals because you're not saying the right thing at the right time. You're not you don't understand the psychological makeup of yourself as well as the prospect. So we will go ahead.
No, I'm going to say, yeah. So I'm going to show you how to get the leads. Claude is going to show you how to close them. So basically, yes, you'll find more deals. So I'm going to show you how to target sellers on Craigslist for cash offers, owner finance, lease options, right? So I mean, as you know, you got to customize the offer based on the seller's situation. So I'm going to show you how to get the leads, and Claude is going to show you how to close those leads. However, this is not a marketing, like it's not how to send direct mail stuff. Like it's not marketing, but I'm going to show you how to get the leads. But specifically, it's about sales. It's about conversion. Because once you can convert those, once you can convert leads, you can make any other marketing channel work, whether it's my Craigslist approach or any other marketing. Is that right?
Yeah, it's absolutely right. The big problem is the leads are easy. And Yassine has a great idea and system to use it, and I'll talk a little bit about also lead generation. But the focus is not to waste the leads, to convert the leads, to get commitment or get out and save more time, get more confirmations, more contracts. You're going to be working 10 times more productive than anyone else out there because you're going to fire the time wasters. You're going to close in one phone call the people who really want to do a deal today. You're going to use your words like a surgeon uses a scalpel.
Right.
You have any questions? Give me a call.
Yeah, so they're asking, so we're talking about targeting sellers. How about attracting investors, both marketing and sales? So yeah, I can teach you how to also get investors and the marketing, but also the sales approach, as Claude mentioned, it applies to sellers. It's a sales process, whether to sellers, investors, realtors, whoever you want to deal with, it's the same principle. Is that correct, Claude?
It really is. The investor, what's the investor thinking? What does the investor want? You have to think 2 moves ahead and use the right words so that investor says, hey, this person is going to help me make more money on this real estate. This is a person I like. This is a person I trust. This is a person I can make a commitment to today, okay, rather than the I'll think about it and everything else. You've got to, same thing with investors as you're dealing with buyers and sellers, other realtors. You've got to learn You've got to be empathetic, and you've got to have the foresight to know how to create the EQ that leads to the IQ, the emotional quotient that makes people say yes today.
Great. So another question, how long does it typically take to apply these strategies?
What a great question.
With some comfort level, that's the kicker. With some comfort level.
You know, it's a great question. It's subjective. The question, I'll answer it with a question. I'll use my own system. How good a student are you? Can you study the materials? Can you attend religiously all the different workshops? Can you practice with me and do the role plays? If you can do these things, I want to see results in the short term. I want to see results in the first 4 to 6 weeks. That's the whole purpose of this, to start making you money, to get you away from the anxiety of the phone. So if you're willing to put in the work, I'm willing to teach you.
Great. Can I say something, Claude?
Sure.
You know, the way that this has been designed is not for you to watch and learn. Honestly, you know, this might tick some people off. The only part where you're going to learn, like where you're going to watch and learn, is week 1. That week 1, Claude is going to cover the whole methodology, step-by-step, agenda, qualification, close. But then week 2, week 3, week 4, it's all about practice. So right after you get off the webinar with us, you're going to do the calls. You're going to do the calls with sellers. Then you're going to report back in the Facebook group. You're going to say, Claude, I got on the phone with this seller. This is what they said. This is how I reacted. This is what I said. And he's going to give you feedback. Then you're going to get on the third call, and we're going to practice the qualification. We're going to role play. There's very little information, honestly, because I don't think you guys need more information. You have enough information. You need practice. You need someone who can critique your pitch, give you feedback, and tell you what you're doing wrong. And maybe be on the phone with you, with the seller, so he can give you feedback. So if anything, webinar number 1, week 1, it's where all the learning is going to happen. But week 3, week 2, 3, 4, it's all about practice and doing calls.
Exactly. Well said. Next question.
Yeah, so what does GUTS stand for?
I think I said that earlier. It stands for, I love the word guts because I think you need to have guts to become a millionaire, to be successful in this business. You've got to have courage and eliminate and control the fear. That's all the psychological deal triggers that I spoke about. GUTS stands for great, untraditional, unorthodox techniques of sales and success. It is about you feeling confident, you feeling knowledgeable, and you having no hesitation of making calls, talking to people, and negotiating deals, because now you have the tools, now you have the system.
Great. So is it also working for hustlers outside the U.S., like UK market, with all the marketing, local laws and different market conditions?
I think it works everywhere. I've been using this system through my entire investment career. I've done it through recessions, depressions, ups, downs, all different kinds of markets, different places. I work with people in 18 different countries teaching this method of persuasion. It is the way to sell, and I don't care where you live or what your economy is. It is the way to do it. Can I do a short review here, Yassine?
Go ahead.
Yeah. Once again, this is $997. 4 live training videos, the GUTS Masterclass, the Agenda Workshop, how to open the door, qualify people in the first couple of 3 minutes, how to qualify people up front before you give your presentation, how to close people up front and get commitment. We're going to have a bonus webinar there. Two additional ones, one on offers that guarantee your profitability and how to text your way to deals. A great way to generate leads. Another bonus, the GUTS Sales Mastery private Facebook page where you guys can go on there, network, exchange ideas, and get answers to questions. Bonus number 3, the GUTS Quick Start video series. Okay, that's my 25 new videos on the GUTS sales method. You guys get them first. All for $997. We're limiting this to 30 students. This is protected by a 30-day, 100% money-back guarantee. I'm doing this, I'm doing this, guys. I've never done this before. You've never heard this from me. And I might not do it again in the future. I want to see if people want to take advantage and learn guts in a different way, in a more comfortable setting for a completely different price structure.
Great.
That's basically it. You just got to go to the link there. And the first 10 people, by the way, get those extra bonuses too. And if
What are
anyone
these
has
bonuses?
What's that?
What are these bonuses? Could you remind attendees the bonuses?
Oh, I'm sorry, they're up the top. They get the 26 videos
No,
there.
the first 10, for the first 10. I think it's 2 calls, private one-on-one calls with you.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. My mind map's too big. The first 10 people who sign up get the private sales calls with me, 2 private one-on-one sales calls. This is something I do with my students who pay me $25,000 to $50,000. You get a private sales training call with yours truly on Skype. We can record it. And you can save it, and we can even make cold calls together.
Love it. And the 30-day unlimited email access to you as well.
30 days of unlimited emails. You can ask me any question you want. All this for $997.
Okay,
Amazing.
great. So the other question is, what time of day will the classes be held?
Good question. I have to. I think we said 10 o'clock Pacific, and that would be 1 o'clock Eastern time. But they'll also be recorded too. So if you can't attend, you can still watch them. Right, Yassine?
Yeah, absolutely. If you can't attend, we'll have the recordings for you. Do we also have access to the recorded calls with Sellers by Claude, both successful and unsuccessful?
You can do, if you are one of the first 10 who signed up, absolutely.
Yeah, and here's the thing. We have a whole archive of role plays and cold calls. So if you guys want that, I'm happy. I think, Claude, could we give that out? The archive of the cold calls.
I have a library of recorded sales calls and trainings that have never been released. Why don't we include those also?
All right, great. So another question. So I'm currently I currently signed up. I'm currently signed up to another coaching program. How is it different? How is it different, Claude?
Well, I think after listening to this webinar, I think you should be able to answer that question. Is the webinar that you're dealing with dealing mostly on strategies and motivation and on marketing using old-fashioned techniques, or are they spending the greatest amount of time on sales? Mm-hmm. That's the real issue. Sales is the million-dollar skill, guys. If it's one thing that you got to take away from this, you could have all the strategies and be an expert on wholesaling, lease purchasing, subject to owner finance. You could be the smartest person in the room. You could have the great leads from Yassine or through social media marketing. But if you are unable to persuade, to influence, to convert people because you are so comfortable, you understand all the psychological deal triggers involved. If you have a grasp on this system, you can make more calls. If you can make more calls, you can talk to more people. You can negotiate more deals. You can make more money. You've got to learn the psychology of deal triggers in the gut system. It is the big difference. Nobody's teaching sales out there. They're all these deals don't fall in your lap. It's the H to H, guys. You've got to learn how to speak to people, how to be empathetic, how to stroke and nurture, how to redirect, how to ask the right questions so you go to the bank. Without that, you are doomed to fail. That's why I put together this amazing workshop right now.
So another question, did you say the program starts January 27 or February? When does it start?
January. We start January 27th.
Okay, great. Great.
Starting right away. Next week, right?
Yeah, it's next week, Friday. It happens to be on Friday. So let me see here. What would it be best for interest only? Do you want to pay down? Works fine. Okay, I'm in. Great. I'm having troubles logging into the link. If you're having any trouble logging in or difficulty with the link, please send me an email at, let me put in here my email, Yassine at CraigslistCodeCracked.com. Send me an email and I'll help you out right after the webinar. So are there any other questions? I'm not seeing more questions in the queue. Claude, anything else you'd like to say?
Thank you, all of you, for attending. We did this as an experiment to make the sales, the psychology of sales, affordable and available to people who can't, it's not reasonable to have a one-on-one five-figure mentor. This is the materials that get people to those deals on a consistent basis. It'll allow you to be comfortable and have no hesitation whatsoever in making these calls. It'll allow you to be a master of guts, to understand the deal triggers that make people want to do business with you and eliminate the waste. It's a way of converting converting your sales.
Great.
Persuading people, influencing them so that you go to the bank more often.
Awesome.
Ask yourself, I'm sorry?
No, go ahead. I'm saying awesome.
Ask yourself this one question. Why am I not doing more deals? What's the problem? What's holding me back? It's always going to be sales. And if you've got to learn a system that makes you comfortable, the prospect comfortable, and gets you to the bank more often. You've got to learn how to ask questions with redirection and utilize these different emotional sales triggers. This is what works for me, guys. It'll work for you.
So
thank you.
There's another question here. Before we finish, Claude, they're saying, I have a couple of questions. Can I give you a call?
Sure. I answer my own phone. I think I've been saying that for years.
What is your number again?
Right now you can call 619-206-5960.
Okay, perfect. So we almost forgot this 3-minute timers. How many 3-minute timers are we giving out?
Whoever you want. You pick them.
All right, let's do a quiz. So maybe the first one to answer this question wins the first timer. What are the 3 steps in the success staircase? What are the first 3 steps in the success staircase?
Someone get it? You better get it.
The first to answer will get a timer. What are the 3 steps in the staircase to success? All right. Do we have anyone paying attention to the presentation?
I know the answer.
All right. Let's make it maybe a little bit easier. What is the first step? When you get on the phone with someone, what is the first step? Type it into the comments box. What is the first step? All right. We're not getting any responses here.
Okay. Well, we'll find a way to get somebody a 3-minute timer.
All right. Well, shoot me an email. Shoot me an email if you'd like a 3-minute timer. Shoot me an email at Yassine@CraigslistCodeCracked.com with your mailing address, and I'll forward it to Claude.
Sounds good. And thank you, everybody, for attending. I hope you took away a lot of good information here. And sign up. Click on that link there, Guts Master Pro, and let's get to work on your success.
All right. Thank you so much, Claude. Thank you, everyone, for attending. I'll see you on the inside, and make your days great.
Thank you.
Uh-oh. Okay, we have a lot of people say I missed the comments actually. I'm sorry, guys. All right, we have people saying agenda quality close. All right. So whomever said agenda quality close, please send me an email at Yassine@CraigslistCodeCracked.com and I'll send you the timer. We have Russ in Omaha answering it right. So Shellis also said it right. So send me an email at Yassine@CraigslistCodeCracked.com and I'll send you over the timers. Thank you so much, and have a good day.
Yasina, I'll get you on Skype.
Yep.
Okay.